is originally derived from the Thai literature written in 1345. The literature is about Buddha's philosophy and
ที่นัด
ancient
ใช้มี
beliefs,
ตัวไหนครับ
which established the basis of Thai fine art and architecture.
Good. That's good. You don't have to show it.
Okay. So there are three sections here.
Well, why don't you tell everyone your name, please?
Okay, my name is Conservatory. You can probably just.
All right, you got it there?
There are three sections.
very, very, very good. A lot of good things. Any comments? Okay. So was this written for a specific, reason? To have it, this melodic material?
It is the program music.
It's program music for, so that for a certain reason it was written that way? That was what they asked you to write or something?
Nobody asked me. It was my senior project.
Okay. And where did you go to school? Here, Rangsit?
I'm architectural.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's hard. It's a lot of it's well put together. It's obviously well put together. A lot of the markings are more. You're going to study what, your bachelor's now?
I have just finished my bachelor degree. I've already graduated. I'm going to continue my master degree for musical film.
Good. Well, you need to review what's phrasing and what's bowing. All of this is phrasing. There's way too many notes for the string players to play. You see these kind of markings? Yeah. That's a phrasing mark. It's hard to. It's difficult sometimes to explain. But in piano music, we have phrasing. Right? Phrasing goes over 5, 6, 7 measures. This is phrase. But when you're writing music for strings or winds, the same marking, the same black line has to mean a very specific thing. And it means all of these notes in one bow, right, for the strings, or in one breath for the winds, without stopping the breath. So it's a very different. Unfortunately, it's the same marking, right? It's the same black marking. Music never invented another marking for it. So this, you'll have, the best way to understand how to do this is really to study scores. If you open up anybody's score, from Mahler to Beethoven to Stravinsky to John Williams, anybody, that you'll see the way the bowings work. That you can't ask the strings to play, more than a couple of measures in one bow, because they run out of bow. The bow is not circular.
อันนี้ยุ่งนิดนึงนะครับเพราะว่าอันนี้เป็นเรื่องสำคัญมากๆเวลาเราจะเขียนให้กับสตริงหรือว่าจะเขียนให้กับวินนะครับเพราะว่ามันมีข้อจำกัดในเรื่องของโบว์อยู่เพราะว่าโบว์มันสีได้แค่นี้เนาะมันสีได้แค่นี้มันไปกว่านี้ไม่ได้นะครับเพราะฉะนั้นจะเขียนเฟรสตัวนี้ขึ้นมาต้องคำนึงถึงระยะของโบว์นะครับของสตริงและบนเครื่องเป่าเป็นคนนะเนาะต้องหายใจอะเนาะเป่าแล้วไม่หายใจก็ตายนะครับเพราะฉะนั้นมันจะมีเฟรสของการเป่าแล้วหายใจเข้าหายใจออกเพราะฉะนั้นไอ้มาร์กิ้งข้างบนนะครับที่ไอ้สเลอร์ที่เราเห็นเนี่ยนะฮะมันจะเป็นตัวกำหนดว่าจะหายใจตอนไหนคราวนี้ที่อาจารย์บอกว่ามันโชคไม่ดีที่ว่าบนเปียโนกับบนพวกเครื่องเป่าเครื่องสายมันเป็นอันเดียวกันนะครับจะรู้ได้ยังไงว่าเราจะเขียนแบบไหนต้องศึกษาสกอร์เยอะๆ
See, this marking is fine. Marking is fine like this. But all of this markings, and I'm not, I like your music very much. It's very advanced and it's very good. But all of this kind of marking is, see, when it's a similar pitch, it can't be slurred together. You see, it's two G's slurred together. It's confusing to the string player, right? Because you're telling them to play the same pitch in the same bow, but without stopping, right? So, the way to do it is if you want to slur it like this, then you have to put tenuto markings underneath the notes to show the player it's bum, 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 etc. The other way is just to write the word legato at the beginning of the piece and let the string player work out some of these bowings, because this is, it gets very confusing. This isn't bad. This isn't bad. I think the violins would probably take more bow than this, particularly because it's a rather slow tempo. This isn't horrible, but it is workable. It's workable, But you just have to be very careful. You have to be very careful of that.
อันนี้อาจารย์อธิบายนะครับว่าไอ้โน้ตอย่างที่เราเห็นข้างล่างนี้นะครับเป็นโน้ตเดียวกันนะครับโน้ต G 2 ตัวแต่มีสเลอร์อย่างนี้3ตัวอย่างนี้มีสเลอร์อย่างนี้ไม่เวิร์กนะครับเพราะว่าคนที่เล่นสตริงในนี้ถ้าเกิดใครเล่นสตริงก็เจอโน้ตอย่างนี้ก็คงด่าคนเขียนเลยเนาะ นะครับว่าแบบเขียนมาได้อะไรอย่างเงี้ยนะฮะวิธีการที่ดีกว่าที่เราเจอก็คือใส่เทโนโต้เข้าไปข้างล่างนะครับเพราะจะรู้ว่าอ๋อมันเป็นโบว์เดียวกันแล้วต้องเลกาโต้ถูกปะนะฮะเพราะฉะนั้นเวลาเขียนไปต้องไม่ลืมพวกนี้ต้องระวังนะครับเราเขียนเอาไว้นะครับเผื่อไว้ด้วย
It's very common, very common. When I teach my classes, I spend weeks and weeks and weeks talking about it. Trying to get the players.
มันเป็นปัญหาปกติที่บางทีเราจะเจอแล้วอันนี้เตือนไว้ก่อนนะครับเพราะว่าจริงๆแล้วอย่างอาจารย์บอกว่าเจอประจำเลยแล้วก็ต้องคอยแก้ปัญหาเรื่องนี้นะว่านักเรียนแต่ละคนก็จะเขียนแบบนี้นะครับผมก็เหมือนกันนะเจอทีไรก็ด่าทุกทีบอกอย่างเงี้ยนะครับ
But there's a lot, a lot of very nice things. I mean, he's very clear that he writes A2. Now, is that necessary to write? What does that mean, A2?
อาจูแปลว่าอะไรเอ่ย
What does that mean? Yeah. What does that mean?
Only
No, it means and second. It means and the
หมายถึง
second.
ทั้งสองคนเล่นเหมือนกัน
And the second. Now, why is he doing that? Why is he doing that? He's doing that because this is it's a miniature score, right? It's a condensed score, meaning that he has flutes. He's got 2 flutes, 2 oboes, 2 clarinets, 2 bassoons here, right? He's got horns, etc., etc. But he doesn't have a separate stave for them. So the flute's coming in here, and now right here. If he didn't write A2, then when he writes the parts, right, or he's giving this to a teacher to grade him or whatever he's doing, it's he's got this tells the person looking that there's 2 flutes are going to play in this passage, right? Now here, obviously there's not 2 flutes here. He should really put A2 again here. I mean, to be completely specific with it. But this is the general idea that when you have a condensed score, you have 2 instruments on 1 stave. If you just have 1 part, you have to write that. Otherwise, when the parts are printed, you don't know if the second flute is supposed to play by itself or first flute by itself.
ในกรณีอันนี้นะครับสกอร์เขียน R2 นะครับมี A แล้วก็มีเลข2นะครับแปลว่าทั้ง2แนวเล่นเหมือนกันนะฮะเล่นด้วยกันนะฮะไม่ใช่แบบว่าเล่นเฉพาะแนวที่2นะฮะใครเคยเขียนอย่างนั้นแล้วแย่เลยนะฮะไปแก้นะฮะทีนี้โจทย์มันก็คือว่าเนื่องจากอันนี้เป็นสกอร์แบบคอนเดนสกอร์คือสกอร์ย่อนะฮะพอเขียนแบบนี้ปุ๊บเนี่ยการเขียน R2 มันทำให้เคลียร์มากขึ้นว่าต้องการทั้ง2ตัวเล่นยูนิซันกันในพาสเซจตรงนี้คราวนี้มันก็เป็นความขยันของเรานะเพราะว่าตรงนี้มันแยกออกตรงนี้ต้องบางทีต้องเขียนอีกหรือแยกออกให้รู้ว่ามันเป็นความคิดเริ่มต้นว่ามันจะมีแบบนี้เกิดขึ้น
Okay, you go to the next page. Please. Good. Okay. Next page. Okay, good. And then here's a repeat. He goes back. We go back. And this is all written nicely. This is smart to write solo. So he's writing solo. That means 1 player. Cantabile. That means song. It's Italian. That means like a song. Okay. That's useful to the player. So all of this is good. It's very clear. Pizzicato. Clear enough, and he's got arco in through this. Okay, good. Go on, please. And here he's got a little woodwind solo. He's got once again, it's too much bowing here, but then for the wind it's okay. For the strings, also remember, when it's loud, the strings need more bow to be louder, right? If it's soft, they need less bow. But when it's louder, you need more bow. So you have to work the other way. But this is a nice passage. He has a nice passage here. Cello and bass, nice activity. It's joined up in here. Nice chords here, and the winds go ahead. All of this is very well put together. Please. Next. All this is good. It's very clear. Good. Now, one thing you've got to be careful of. I've counted at least 6 or 7 pitches for the timpani. Okay. How many drums are you going to have in an orchestra? Yeah, maybe 4 drums, right? So computer like this can play as many notes as you want in the timpani, but real timpani player, you're gonna have 4 notes, and now here he's got A and a D and an A, and then he's got a G and an F, and then he's got an E natural, then he's got A, and then he's got an A here, a D here. In the previous page he had Fs and he had B flats. So a timpani player can't change it that fast, right? So when you take music like this, and then I called him up and I say, I love your piece. I want my orchestra to play it next week. What's he going to do? He's got to clean the timpani part up. You do. It's very common. You got to take out a lot of notes for the timpani because they just, even in the studio, they come. Maybe they'll come with 6 or 7 drums. In the studio, they can afford that. But in orchestra, you can't afford that kind of a thing. Okay, good. Go on. This is nice. A pizzicato. Here's a different little section. He's moving through some keys. It's nice. It's kind of modulating. That makes it a little bit more interesting because the material is a little bit repetitive. But so he changes it by having it start to move with some keys, what makes it interesting. Good. And now this also contrasts. He just has strings right here. Right? So the winds are out. Good. We'll go on. And then here he contrasts here. This is always a very good. Winds, strings, winds. Right? So you have same material, exactly same material, but it's repeated, and that makes sense. Okay? So that's okay. Go ahead. This is good. So then now this isn't, once again, there's too much bowing in this area, but this is all interesting. The winds are out. He has brass here. Now timpani's got a whole bunch of new pitches. So we have to be careful of all that. Good. The viola part, he's got a nice viola part, which is good. Remember, viola is a very interesting instrument to use. A lot of people don't know what to do with the viola. But the viola can be a bridge between violins and the cello, right in the middle. Good. Go ahead. Here we have a little chord, a little contrasting. He comes back to his first idea, the Buddhist theme here, played in solo violin. And what he does, which is smart, is that he has the violin a louder dynamic than the accompaniment. Remember that from yesterday? We talked about that. Always have your melody a little bit louder than the accompaniment. I would even see this possibly